Hello friends, today we are going to learn a very interesting concept in data validation, and that is called as dependent drop-down list. Suppose we have created this list of name, state and city where we want the participant to put their name and select the state from the drop-down list. Like here I select Maharashtra and we want that they should see only the cities in Maharashtra for their selection, like this, only cities in Maharashtra for their selection. If someone else comes and put his name here and he selects some other state like Gujarat, he should see only the cities in Gujarat for the selection in this particular column, like this. This is different list than what we have in Maharashtra. This is called as dependent drop down list. So this list is dependent on this particular list of state. How to create such kind of dependent drop down list? This is very important because this is a very common question in the interview of data analyst and MIS executives. So stay tuned till the end of this video and let us learn how to create dependent drop down list. Hello all and welcome to Boost Your Career, the place where you learn the skills to grow in your career. So this is the database that we want to create, where the users will put their name, they will select their state from the drop down which we are going to create, and they will select the city which will be based upon the state that they select from this particular cell. This is called as dependent drop down list. So here I have a list of states in this particular cells, and for all these states I have created the list of the respective cities in that particular state, like this. So whenever I create this particular list, make sure that there is no space between the words used over here. The reason I will tell you in few minutes. So if there is a space, we are going to replace that space with underscore. So what I will do, I will select this data and go to Control H. I will do Control H, use the shortcut to replace, Control H, and here I will put space and find what space, replace with underscore. Here I will put underscore and then I will say replace all. Now you can see there were two states where there was a space in between, which is now been replaced with the underscore. Now this list will be used for the selection of the drop down. For that I will, first of all, what I need to do, I need to create the name for this list. I will rename this list as state. For that, how do we do that? For that I will go to formulas, then here is the option create from selection. I will click here and you can see here the top row. So create names from the values in the top row. So the name of this list will be renamed with the top row what is mentioned in that particular range, that is state. So this particular range will be renamed as state, and this will be used for the drop down. Then I will say OK. Now what has happened, this list is renamed as state. How do I check that? I will go to name manager from formulas, name manager, and you can see the state is being there. So this list is renamed as state. Now I will use this list in this particular cell to create the drop down. For that I will use data validation. The shortcut is Alt DL Alt DL, or else I can go to data and you can see here data validation. Under data validation I will select list, and for the source of the list, now I will not select this particular range because I have renamed this list as a state. So I will use state over here. For that I will press F3, function key F3. This will display all the list which I have created. Just now I created just one list, that is state, and then I will say OK. This is a very important step, that in the source we are going to press F3 and then select the list which we have created, that is state, and then say OK. Now you can see the states are available for the selection now. So I will select one state over here. For creating a dependent drop down list which will depend upon the selection from this particular cell, that is state, first of all I need to do the same thing. That means I need to select this range. This is the range of my cities under my names of the states. So I selected this data. Then I will go to formulas again, because I need to rename the list of each state, and then I will create from the selection. Again I will select only top row, because the names of this particular cities, this set of cities, will be renamed as the state name. And then I will say OK. What this will do, this will create 5 different lists with the names of the state which are written on the top of this list, that is top row. Now this list must be created. How do I check that? I have to go to formulas and name manager. You can see here all the states list is being created and you can see here in this case, if you see, I have not written as underscore in this particular name Uttar Pradesh, but Excel has taken as underscore by default, because whenever a list name is created, it cannot be the list name of the list cannot have the space. If there is a space, Excel will automatically convert it to underscore, and that is the reason whenever we created this state list for the first drop down, which is main drop down, in that list we have put the underscore, because this list and the names of our list for the states should match. So this and this should match. That is the reason we have put the drop down over here. Only then it will work. So all the lists are there created. Now I will go ahead and create a dependent drop down in this particular cell, which will depend upon the selection of the state. For that, again I will use data validation. I can go to data and data validation, but now I will use the shortcut for data validation is Alt DL. Alt DL, under settings I will select list for the source. Now whenever in this, because I need to create a dependent drop down list, I will not use the source directly. I will use the formula here. What is that formula? Is equal to indirect. So I will use the formula called indirect, open bracket, and then indirect means this particular drop down will depend upon what? Depend upon this particular cell. So I will select this cell. I will select this cell and make sure that you remove the dollar sign. Why we are removing the dollar sign? Because I want to copy the formula I want to copy this particular cell down, and if I copy this down, this D6 will not change if I do not remove the dollar sign here. D6 is what is there is right now Maharashtra, so it will always give me the cities from Maharashtra only, even if I select I will copy this down. That is the reason I need to remove the dollar sign, and then I will complete the bracket. Now remember, this step is also important. Whenever I create the data validation in the dependent drop down list, what I need to do, in the source I need to use the formula called indirect, and for that I will be using the cell selection from the main list, main drop down list, that is here. This is D6 I use here, and then I will say OK. Now you can see here the Maharashtra is already selected. I will get the list of the cities from Maharashtra only, like here. Now I will copy this down. I will just delete this, and now I will copy this down. Control D. Now this drop down is available in each of the cell now. Now if anybody puts the name ABC and selects the state of Maharashtra and then go to the next cell, he will get only the cities to select from Maharashtra. Now suppose next person comes, he enters his name, he selects some other state like Gujarat, and then go to cities. He will get the selection of the cities from Gujarat only from our list, like here. There is no cities from any other state in this particular cell. So what is the benefit of this creating this dependent drop down list? In this way we can save the time of the user. For example, if we give the drop down list for all the states over here and all the cities over here, they have to go down and select their city, and by doing that, by doing this, wasting the time, they can make the mistake. So there are two benefits: we are reducing the time, we are saving the time, at the same time we are trying to avoid the mistakes which might happen because of the multiple selections. So we are reducing the selections depending upon the state. I hope this video was useful to you. Let me know in the comments how was this, and do subscribe to this channel to learn such skills which helps you to grow in your career. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.